So the Battle of the Rhine is over. And yeah, I'm disappointed, but I got to be honest with you, I'm not crying my eyes out. You'd think I would be. We did lose to our crosstown rivals, a derby that we've never actually won, at least a meaningful game. But I think there was just too many positives to sit there and dwell on this. And now I'm getting more confident that we have a shot to go right back up. Hey, I'm Tommy C., the only English-speaking Wehen Wiesbaden YouTuber super fan. And I'm about to tell you about round one of the Deutsche Pokal that clearly didn't go our way. But again, I think there was some positives. And if I was a Mainz fan, I'd be a little concerned. So let's get into that right now. So after Mainz has some trouble in their own backfield, which would be kind of a theme throughout the first half, Tariq Guzasirin, who I think I got his name right this week, managed to surprise us all and pop one, but it shouldn't be too much of a surprise because Guzasirin has scored in the first round of the last three Deutsche Pokals that he's entered. So unfortunately, Wehen was not able to maintain the pressure right out the gate in the second half. This led to a goal by Dominic Kor, who's a star center back and a huge piece of the defensive puzzle of Mainz 05, and he was able to knock one in. This is not a guy that scores very often, but he's definitely one of the more popular players on Mainz 05. So Mainz did control the possession time. It's not surprising considering the league difference, but this was not without pressure from Wehen. They did put 100% in all the time. They weren't always playing on the back foot, and they did create chances. I did see a lot of issues from the center backs, with the exception of Dominic Kor, of course. They seem to be confused, almost like in a preseason type form. After all, Mainz has not played a regular season game. Wehen has played two already. Mainz is not in their perfect form, and there looked like there was a lot of miscommunications in the back. And with those problems, which led to their first goal, it damn near led to their second. If it wasn't for a spectacular save by goalkeeper Zenter, who I've got to see a lot of living in this area, I think he's actually a really underrated goalie. A diving save to his right. This game ends 2-1. So with the save, they forced extra time, and this is where the problems arose. This is where the cramps arose. This is where the tiredness arose, because this is the first time that I've ever seen any kind of professional extra time game in soccer/football. And I can imagine with a lot of second and third league guys, this is probably the first time they had played over 90 minutes too. And I think Wehen really showed their sort of worse for wear. A awful mistake, a double mistake by our center back Karstens led to Burkhardt, who had been kept quiet. Their striker Burkhardt had been kept quiet all game, and he managed to take advantage of that mistake and pop it in, which effectively ended the game in the 113th minute. Now, there was another goal by Abari right after that, but this was as a result of basically Wehen going all in and trying to go for it to tie it up. I really don't count that against them. Like I said, this score is a little makes it look like Mainz sort of dominated the entire game. It really wasn't the case. It was the case of Wehen going for broke when they had nothing to lose. So unfortunately, I'm sure Karsten's going to take a lot of heat in the locker room and maybe even from the fans. But remember, this is not the first time this has happened. In fact, this happened from our center back 2 years in a row.
Defender across his own goal, a cardinal sin, and Leipzig lead by 2.
Remember this guy, Marcus Matheson? I'd hope that he would stick around, and when Sacha decided to retire, he would actually take his place as captain, but it didn't work out that way. Took off after we got relegated, made the crucial mistake that kept us out of extra time against a much better squad in RB Leipzig. In fact, they were the champions of the Deutsche Pokal that year. We actually played it sometime, and I think in late September or early October. So these things happen. Now, I don't want to sit there and act like this is akin to our recent relegation, when we have gotten 4 points out of 6 in the last 2 games, and really the point is to get promoted. We can't all have a Saarbrücken-like season every year. It would have been a miracle if we would have beaten Mainz, to be perfectly honest with you. I like the fact that now we get to concentrate on one thing and one thing only, which is promotion. And remember, Saarbrücken, we're playing them this year because they didn't get promoted. And, you know, Kaiserslautern went to the final and got beat up by Leverkusen, unsurprisingly. So having a deep run in the Deutsche Pokal, as much of a miracle as it might be, it's not really healthy for the club. They need to get promoted. And I think that's what we'd all rather have than some kind of deep miracle run that would only end up in a loss to a Bayern or a Leverkusen or a BVB or any of the really big clubs that they simply don't have a chance against. Now, I do think they had a chance to beat Mainz in their current condition, but I don't think that would have happened had Mainz been in mid-season form. That being said, my friends across the river, I hope this isn't a continuing problem. Remember, last year you guys were at the bottom of the table and there was some cause for concern and you almost got relegated because that nagging losing and drawing here and there actually lasted right up until May, where you're barely able to pull it out to stay in the first league. And you've been there for almost 19 years now. So I'm more concerned, if I'm a Mainz fan, that they had so much trouble with the third league side that's been basically decimated by players going elsewhere, than I am about a Wehen Wiesbaden team that's got a lot of young guys on that have showed me a great effort, that have showed me that they can put it in the net, unlike last year. And, you know, there's a lot of hope with Moritz Floto. I think there's, you know, I'm the way he's playing now, I wouldn't be shocked if he put 10 goals in the net. And I think that's more than a lot of people would have expected. So there's a lot of good positives here. And we don't have to worry, sort of like Saarbrücken did last year, because their regular season or league play was less than stellar, and they started concentrating on getting to the next round of the Deutsche Pokal. We don't got to worry about any of that. We don't got to worry about none of it. We can just worry about league. Promotion is the most important. This club wants to be a consistent second league side, as I want them to be, with dreams of somewhere down the line getting that one shot to the first league. And we want to stay there because now we're one of those up and down clubs, and we want to be a regular mid-table team in the second league. And I do think that's very, very possible. Again, I could be crying my eyes out, but I'm going to decide for some reason to look at the positive. The positives, we get to concentrate on one thing. We've looked good, very good in 2 games, and this is a completely different squad than last year. We've kept some of the more important players like Mackenhaupt and Gopel and Stritzel, which there were some rumors that he might disappear. So, and I could say there was 100% effort. I never felt that they were totally out of it. There was a terrible mistake by a young center back, which happened by an older center back last year, that got us out of the Deutsche Pokal. It would have been nice to go to the next round. It would have been nice to knock them out. Congratulations to Mainz. But again, I'd be a little more concerned if I were you. I mean, you guys could very easily get relegated. I'm surprised you kept Burkhardt. And speaking of Burkhardt, you kept him quiet. It took an unbelievable error to get him to actually contribute in the way that he's supposed to be contributing every game. So this is nothing but a positive, if you ask me. The effort was there against a team 2 leagues above, a team we weren't supposed to beat. And, you know, it always seems like one team, I guess this year it's Hanover, gets the boot in the first round. I was hoping that was going to be Mainz. It wasn't. But again, we get to concentrate and move forward. I'm Tommy C. I'm the only English-speaking YouTuber, super fan of the great Wehen Wiesbaden. And I'll see you after next game, or if something interesting happens during the week. I'll see you here on Glory Hunters. Check out our Hunter content. Make sure you like and share. And we're also bringing back the podcast really, really soon, as well as watch alongs. Take care. Bye-bye.